3, 2, 1. Welcome back.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Hello, everybody. I missed you. I love you. Talk to me. How you been?
I think you weren't on the last one, right? So it's been a few weeks for you.
No, I did the last one.
Did you do the last
No,
one?
it was a few before that.
We skipped a week. That's what it was.
That's what it was.
That's why
I
it's
missed
been a while.
one, did one, skipped a week. We're here.
Yep. But since then, we've had LeBron finally committed and got somewhere at this point.
What's?
Yeah.
I have a question about that.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So he didn't take a lot of money, which I commend. At this point in his career,
Right.
I believe it's a vet minimum.
Yeah,
right?
vet minimum.
This is a
2 year, right?
this is clearly a championship pick, right?
Yeah.
Do you think 76ers were the only one that offered him a larger veteran? Like, why do you think it was Philly?
Well, I don't know.
No, I think as far as number one, they had a roster spot.
Yeah.
Fair.
But they also had a roster spot with the talent around him that he thinks it's worth the farewell tour.
Right.
So,
Already a championship player on there.
and I think that he wants to already make this documentary, his like Last Dance style documentary.
Right.
You know, Philly, that's just a good landing spot for that.
It's a great
Right.
sports city. Like,
It's a great sports
is.
city. It
It's
makes
a
for
big-
good
yeah,
TV.
but
Oh, yeah.
I just get curious because I'm like, it just seems so random. Like, I saw a meme that I actually didn't agree with for the first time. I saw one where I'm like, this is inaccurate. Where they're like, why is this giving me vibes? And it showed Michael Jordan in a Wizards costume.
Oh,
And
really?
I was like, it's not the same because the Wizards
Yeah.
sucked.
Right.
And they had Michael Jordan
Right.
in his far past his prime.
Yeah, and-
he wasn't a contender at that
No,
point.
not at all.
well, and even beyond that, the Wizards had nobody. Like when I say
No,
nobody,
literally nobody.
there was no second fiddle. There was scrubs.
People forget
Right.
the Wizards have been cursed for many years.
Yes.
Like, many years.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think it didn't help that that announcement came right after the Jaylen Brown stuff.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, especially
this
for
sucks.
you, yeah, with
Bro,
your Celtics,
we-
yeah.
Like, how could we make them? We already made them better,
Right.
and then LeBron going. And I'm not saying because LeBron, even in his age, well, because at this point, what do you think he is? Third or fourth option?
Yeah.
Because in theory, it should
If
be
everybody's
Jaylen
on,
first.
as far
Yeah.
as scoring,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, because right now they've got it's Barlow, Bona, Brown, Caldwell Pope, Edgecombe, Edwards, Embiid, and then LeBron.
Yeah, it's gonna be Tyrese Maxey, Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown,
Yeah.
Embiid,
So-
and LeBron.
Yeah.
So I mean, so let's say third option. Or
Yeah.
third or fourth.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe third, fourth.
Even a third or fourth option LeBron at this stage is still tough because he's a great leader.
Oh,
He'll
yeah.
help these little guys who need some help.
Oh, yeah.
Jaylen's a champion. He'll go in there and help these guys. It's just tough because I'm like, from one point of view, I go, okay, I'm not too nervous because you get like Embiid, who's always hurt, who
Yeah.
struggles.
LeBron, who's hurt a lot
older,
now.
and he's older now.
Yeah.
He's hurt a lot. So really, I'm still only stressed out about like Jaylen and Edgecombe and,
Yeah,
and Maxey.
I
Yeah.
heavily suspect
But-
LeBron's going to be playing like half games.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
Oh, he's gonna be on a huge minimum.
Oh,
restriction.
absolutely.
Especially he signed the
Yeah.
2 year. He's trying to stretch it out.
oh yeah.
Um,
Honestly, I don't even know if he makes it. If depending on how this year goes, if he wins, I think he retires, and if they absolutely crap the bed, I think he retires. Like
yeah,
I don't think there's any. If it's a middle ground, then we'll see. But if it's one or the other,
I think if they lose, he comes back, but only just for the movie.
Yeah, literally. And I think this is the prime example. Like everyone throws this term out a lot. I think this is a prime example of championship or bust.
oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
100%.
For sure.
Like this,
For sure.
like you look at this, it looks like a damn NBA 2K roster.
Well, you saw.
Yeah, it really does. It-
You
very
see
similar.
the Durant's quote that he thinks that this team is better than the his Warriors team.
I have the
Really?
quote
Yeah.
pulled up. I have the quote pulled up.
Well, I guess in theory, I could see why he says that, but also your team won. Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
What are
Exactly.
you talking about?
And it's odd. He did make a comparison to him going to the Warriors as LeBron going here. I don't know that that's the same though, because
No.
the Warriors had already won what
Yeah.
2?
yeah,
three?
two.
Two.
Well, no, it
Well,
was one,
one, lost
two,
one.
and then one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they won one without him,
Yeah.
two with him, one again without him when he left.
but up to that point, they had already won. They looked
Yeah.
like the best team already.
Yeah. They were.
Like, they didn't need it.
Yeah. So they were
Yeah.
absolutely the favorites.
They
going
didn't need
in.
him,
Yeah.
so totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Oh yeah.
Poor
Now,
Durant.
what do you think about what he was saying about Clay and Dre and Steph? Did y'all hear that?
Not the full
So-
quotes. No.
No,
So what was he
He
saying?
he essentially said, here, I guess I can read it. So he said, it ain't close. Joel MVP recently, Jaylen Brown recent Finals MVP, Tyrese Maxey 3-time All-Star in the last 3 years, and we know what Braun does. Klay Thompson never an MVP candidate, nothing. 22 points per game though. Draymond 14 points per game. Steph an MVP just like Joel.
So the defensive player of the year doesn't count then for Draymond there?
Apparently not.
Apparently not.
And then-
Totally not useful.
Yeah.
They're acting like Andre Iguodala was still really dominant
Yeah.
at that point.
Finals
like,
MVP?
Finals MVP.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
I don't agree.
And yeah, Clay was MVP because there was Steph there. And
Yeah.
he was putting up just as many clutch points when they were the Splash Bros.
Yeah.
So like,
It's a weird
What's your point?
quote. It's a weird quote
Yeah.
overall. Like, and Clay, it's odd for Clay to catch the shots. Clay could have been the number one option on
Any other team.
literally 31 other teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not 31 actually, because there's probably a few teams that had a good player at the time.
yeah, sure.
People get jaded
but
by
still,
Clay
he
now.
was
But
yeah.
like 25 other
Clay
teams
was-
would have paid him max contracts.
Clay was top 5 point guard at that time, without a doubt.
yeah,
You
shooting
know?
guard. Yeah,
Shooting guard. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, because it was like him and what, James Harden at the time, maybe.
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
was
this
pretty
is-
much it.
Yeah.
that was pretty much
And
it.
it's also I would argue it's not fully comparable because you have Jaylen Brown and LeBron are the only two battle tested champions.
Yes.
And then you have everybody else who is either like Maxey, never been to a finals,
Yeah.
Embiid, never been to a finals. He's been
They've been close,
very
yeah.
cursed lately.
I'm about to say.
And then you
that's
have Edgecombe is in sophomore year this year. Like
Yeah.
there's not. I'm not saying it's not a good team.
no, but it's a very
it's not a.
It's a very different
battle-tested-
it's a
situation.
very volatile situation there. It could
Yeah.
go. It can if it's always the big if. If everyone stays healthy, it's a potentially unstoppable team.
Yeah.
So is the comparison the Warriors with KD, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if let's say the first championship they win with KD versus
Yeah.
this team, that team would win. The Golden State Warriors would win.
Oh, I think so
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
This team would win. And it's not because they're not good. It's just they battle test a team who didn't
Yeah.
need Durant, who got him, and
Right.
were dominant.
Right.
Yes. I
Yeah.
mean, and it shows in like the NBA Finals where you had a not battle tested Spurs, what everybody thought was going to roll over, and then the Knicks, who
Yeah.
had the most experience, that everything synced up because they knew how to put it together when they needed to.
Well, and team continuity is a big thing.
Yes.
Like in that team, like especially when you talk about the Villanova boys, they've been playing since what, college freshman
Forever,
year?
yeah.
Like that's a big deal when you
Yep.
know, and you can trust your guy like on
Right.
the other end. So it's a big deal for the continuity and everything. He also had a second part of that quote, which some people have talked
Which is
about.
like, I hate Steph.
He goes, people were mad at me because you added somebody who scored more than 20 points per game to a team that already had two players scoring more than 20 points per game. So it was Steph, Clay, and then they added KD.
Sure.
They're mad at him because he took the easy way out.
Yeah.
The argument
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
him going to Golden
Nope.
State. Really, it's
Yeah,
more
right.
like you took the you.
Nobody
had
was
7
criticizing Golden State at the time. Everybody
No.
was going, okay, cool.
Oh.
They
It was
signed.
Durant.
Yeah.
Everybody said Golden State would do what Golden State's supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody was
Sign more
everybody
players.
was groaning because they went, oh great, they went from unstoppable to not even a remote chance in
Yeah.
hell, and then obviously they got defeated. But
Yep.
still, like it took a historical thing from LeBron
Yeah.
and Kyrie and everybody else on that team to stop them. Like
Still crazy.
that's still again we talked about this for our like most
Right.
impressive moments. Like that's easily one of the greatest finals ever.
And that's
by
the only time
far.
I ever look at Clay and be like, dude, how did you just shut up?
Yeah.
Because and again, it's
Had
one
he
of these
not said
butterfly
anything,
effects.
yeah.
Because if Draymond didn't get suspended for a game, would they have won?
Dude, I
Yeah.
don't even know.
But then
Maybe.
yeah,
With Clay's
probably.
comments, right? Because
Yeah.
the argument is we didn't have Draymond. Well, you did for the other two.
yeah,
You lost.
and,
Right.
and it's also
Yeah, that's
you
the
knew
other
you
thing. You could've
Draymond is
closed
still
this out.
Draymond. You knew Draymond was still going to be that character.
Yeah, because Draymond's always the one that gets under your skin,
Mhm.
Yep.
who will demand the bat like underneath the rim.
Yep.
Like, so if he didn't get suspended, maybe Golden State would have won. If Klay Thompson just didn't say a word,
Right.
like trashing LeBron, maybe they would have been like defeated
Right.
and been like, okay. But it's the sports are so interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Celtics. Look at
Yep.
this last thing. Celtics should not. I didn't think they were going to win the whole thing, even as their fan.
Yeah.
Right.
However, being up 3-1 and people lose, I feel like no team should lose 3-1.
No.
Not a single team. And then like wasn't it who won on like 2 rounds that beat 3-1? Who was it? Clippers or Nuggets? Someone did 3-1 a couple years ago to like
Yeah.
2
Oh.
rounds in a row. I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, I don't remember who
It was
that
like
was.
2 in a
Well,
row.
I know we did that to the Nuggets. The Wolves did that to the Nuggets because we were down and then Ant was telling the people in the Nuggets thing, "We'll be back for y'all in Game 7."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he was telling the staffers that we'll be back in 7. Don't worry.
You know what? It may have been the Warriors because I think.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, not the Wolves because I think they.
I think
did
it was.
because then they lost to Dallas.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's what it was. They won 2-3-1 in a row.
Yeah.
Dallas
Mhm.
finally beat them. Oh my gosh.
Just still,
I will
yeah.
say you see a big difference though in like in mindset there. KD obviously very very worried about his own personal points per game and all that stuff. Dude, nobody actually cares.
No.
Nobody cares.
Durant is so funny. dude.
Well, he definitely suffers from that. Like he has to
Yeah.
always pump up his own stats no matter what.
Yeah, looking for that validation.
Yeah.
Which hey, You know what? I don't know what it takes to get to the top 10.
But again,
scoring all time. Not my
butterfly
guy.
effect. If him, Harding, and Westbrook had won one together, would he be nearly this? Obviously, it's insufferable when it comes to those types of conversations. I don't think so.
Probably.
Well,
Probably.
not to the same extent.
Probably
you
not to
know?
the same extent. Probably because after that didn't work, they said, "Oh, you just aren't good enough."
Right, and
That
so
probably
now
led to
and
a
so
lot
now
of it.
he got
Yeah.
that insecurity where it's like, all right,
Which is
everyone's
odd.
talking about
Russ
you know.
didn't seem to inherit that. And of the three, just from Russ's on-court aggression, you would
Yeah.
assume from his attitude that he would be the one kind of privy to that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because of kind of his on-court persona. But he seems like the most grounded guy of the three of them when he's not on court.
Because
Right.
people also forget how good Westbrook was. Like
Right.
people look at him now over the past few years and
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, he's trash." I'm like, he's been around a long time.
but to
long
say,
time.
yeah,
And he's an
he's
explosive player.
yeah,
But he was finals or not finals. He was season MVP the year
Yeah.
after KD left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you're
average
like-
a triple-double.
like
Hey,
multiple seasons
as a
averaging a
6'3"
triple double. Like,
guard,
Yeah.
whatever he is.
That's insane.
It's insane. Yeah.
Now being
it-
said, I don't think he's going to get signed this year.
I
Did
feel
he get
bad.
re-
no,
signed
nope.
by
He's
the-
still free agent.
Was it the Kings he was with?
He was yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, he was with the Kings.
Yeah.
Because I remember him being like, "I hope they bring me back," and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Kings are just trash."
Because it was Nuggets and then Kings, if I remember.
Yes.
right. Yeah.
I just don't see
I thought he
reality
found a home with the Nuggets, but apparently they
Apparently
didn't
not.
agree.
Right.
because I think
Well, they're ring chasing though too, and so they want every chance that they can get. You know.
and he doesn't cost a lot. There's not a trash team. who
I think
wants
it's
him.
time to.
Bulls.
I think it's time to blow that organization up. Nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a stretch. They had their stretch.
well, and they won, so
Yeah.
you can't even say it was a bad run. You
Right.
got your ring.
Same thing with Milwaukee. I get the
Yeah.
argument for Giannis, where people are like, he
Yeah.
needed to leave, and I'm like, he did what he set out to do. He
Yeah.
didn't say, he. I mean, I'm sure he would have preferred multiple championships.
Sure.
Of course.
but he got you one.
Right.
He did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah,
He
you
was
really
loyal to
can't
the end.
hate if a player spends 10 years there, brings you a ring,
No.
and then contendership multiple times.
Right.
Did what you could, bud.
Yeah.
Did- you
Right.
played.
And then like obviously the front staff is not like doing him any favors.
Yeah.
Like over and over and over again.
Well, and you look
Oh
at
yeah.
and you look
For
at
sure.
Boston. It's like Jalen. If you take it face value, Jalen never said he requested a trade.
Right.
So it was just Celtics being like, "We want you out."
Right.
So if
Exactly.
you take it face value, then
I mean, it's
just
it's almost like what the Packers did. I was speaking of Wisconsin, it's like what the Packers did to Rodgers. Yeah, because for the longest time, Aaron Rodgers was complaining that he didn't have anybody to throw to, and then they drafted Jordan Love instead of a wide receiver.
Which is crazy. Which
So like
which was the
so-
biggest like, "We
yeah.
want you out, buddy."
Yeah,
they
Which
really
says
thought
a lot
that they
about
were gonna have a
Wisconsin.
Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers type kumbaya.
Yeah.
Did not work.
Rodgers
No.
like, "Nah." And this
Yeah.
will be his farewell tour also, so we got to
Yeah.
soak it in.
It's like his third farewell.
Yeah,
Bro.
let's hope it's his last.
Dude.
Poor
I feel
guy's
bad
just-
for the guy because you can tell he wants to play football still.
Oh yeah,
But the mind may be strong, but the flesh is weak.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
It's
yeah.
not
Time
hung together
itching,
like it
man.
once did.
No,
Well,
not
and
at all.
last year he played. I think he played the best he could. We'll see what pieces.
Yeah.
I don't even know what pieces they've drafted or got around him or what they've done.
Not
I don't
much.
know.
But,
He's still on the
Steelers. Still Steelers.
Last
Yeah.
year in the Steelers.
Poor guy.
Yeah. But yeah, but then so Giannis to the Heat. You know, we'll see if that actually pans out. You know,
Well, I'm gonna do the Paul George rainbow. Speaking of people who swap teams,
Seriously,
Get
yeah.
all of his jerseys like the
Yeah.
rainbow. Like they had one of Shaq, and then who else had one that was cracking me up? Just all the different jersey colors. Bradley Beal or someone. It was like players with all the different colors of the rainbow.
I do want to see. I want to look that up. Yeah, because there's quite a few players.
There's quite a few that have hopped
We're
around.
just like, oh, yeah. Shaq had a bunch.
Shaq had a lot.
Yeah.
Like for somebody who's like, easily everybody's top 10 ever, he hopped around a bunch.
Because it was It was Lakers or Orlando, then L.A., then Heat.
for Shaq?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was Orlando, Lakers, Heat,
Phoenix,
Phoenix, Boston.
All right.
So 5.
So yeah, all right, so
Durant.
let's see here. So players who have
Kyrie.
completed the rainbow. So KD has completed the rainbow.
Dennis Schroeder's played
Schroeder.
1 year for every team.
Yeah.
That's the one I was like, oh my gosh.
Yep. Then Shaq, Jay Crowder, Robin Lopez, Ish Smith. Man, dude, Schroeder went everywhere. Hawks, Thunder, Lakers, Celtics, Rockets, Raptors, Nets, Warriors, Pistons.
Oh my gosh.
He straight up Roy G. Biv'd it.
He's like,
Wow.
That's crazy.
He's like the total tank commander.
Seriously.
Which is like, if you're him, right? It's a compliment because teams want
Yeah.
you.
Right.
But then it's also annoying because teams don't want you.
Yeah.
It would be the biggest mind freeze in my life. Or it'd be like,
I don't know, man. I think he has a good attitude about it because at the end of the day, if you put it in perspective, you getting what, $3-4 million
Yeah.
to go out there, dribble a ball, and put it in a hoop. You'd be all right. You know what I mean?
well, that's when you find your forever home and realize you're not going to be able to live in the
Tyson
city. you
Chandler,
work
yep.
with.
No, yeah, just like 6-7 months of the year, you're gonna be traveling.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you come back and hang out the other side.
100%.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, 100%.
But I mean, some people don't mind taking the role. Like Lou Williams,
No, yeah.
he could have chased a starter position for the majority of his career because he was good. Like Lou Williams came straight from high school.
Oh, well.
Like that's how. Like that was back in the day when you didn't even have to get eligibility.
Right.
Yeah.
So he goes straight from high school, gets in the league. You know, he bounces around a little bit, and then he finds out, dude, if I just accept the role of 6 man, I can like make a name for myself somewhere, and it worked like a charm. Like people love him, dude, including the fans. You know, he brought 2 girlfriends to every game. So it's like a thing. It was like his calling card.
Hey,
But
you know what?
the other one that did that was Jamal Crawford.
Jamal Crawford.
Okay.
Like that.
He decided, hey man, I can be the 6 man. I can
Yeah.
just be
Yeah.
the best 6th player.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to sit here and fight for all this starter. I'm gonna fight.
No,
for
yeah. If you don't have the ego to say that you need to be the starter, where you have the ego to say
Yeah.
I'm good enough to be on the court at any given time,
Right.
Why not? Absolutely, why not?
and it's
if
funny
you
that
can back
people-
it up the whole time.
And it's so funny. People are like, oh, you know, you got to be the best. My man, I'm one of the top 50 players in the entire world. And on any given night, any of the top 50 are going, or, you know, say top 100.
Any one bad night can be any good night.
Yeah,
you know?
any one night, they could be the best player in the world.
Mhm.
Because, like, if you catch Jamal Crawford on a heater, he'd go 50. There's only so many people in the world that can
What's
do
his
that.
face? Who just scored 82 last year?
Hey,
Yeah.
the best scorer ever to live, Bam Adebayo.
Adebayo, right? That's what I'm saying. Hey, Giannis is going with Adebayo. That's right.
Hey,
That's
he
right.
needed a little more offense in his game.
If we're gonna talk about teams that like even Miami's gonna be playing with the damn water boy.
Yeah.
Like, I was looking at the roster and I'm like, I only know like 4 of you,
Dude, it's going to be an
Who
issue.
are you?
They're going to
Let's see here.
and they
gonna
got
have to
nothing in
really-
free agency.
You know, and lead into the ego thing. Carmelo kind of weighed in on this recently.
Yeah.
Did y'all see that?
I didn't see it, but I could see why he chimed in.
So Carmelo weighed in that it doesn't make sense to him why you would ever take less money. And he was really talking about the Knicks and Jalen Brunson to sign. He took $110 million less. So there's like two sides of this. I do want to hear your thoughts. So he said, why would you ever take less than your worth? Real people can't go out and make $110 million in 4 years.
So, I don't know. I would do the Tom Brady argument where if you are already, and this goes pretty much across any sport, if you are already in an organization that is a proven winner and you just need a couple more pieces of a puzzle,
Right.
And you can show, hey, we just need, all right, for Brady it was all right, hey, we need a running back, hey, we need a wide receiver, we need
Yes.
one spot here, not a whole revamp. We need one spot.
Yeah.
He constantly said, all right, I'll renegotiate my contract.
Right.
Yeah.
He's known, he was notorious. I was notorious about it. He was just absolutely well known for renegotiating his contract to get more cap space.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I think
He did so on the Mavs.
Exactly.
He offered the Mavs a discount. And we took him down. We wouldn't take him up on it.
Who?
Jalen Brunson.
Oh, Brunson. Yeah. So, but yeah, so that's my point. It's like so that's like if you can prove that you are already a winning team and
Right.
you just need one more piece for a championship, then I'm saying all for it. Otherwise, take your money and run. If
Yeah,
you're you're
Right.
the star and they ain't helping you out, you know, shoot, take your money and run.
Carmelo was a star. Like, hey,
Yeah.
kudos Carmelo. He was the guy.
Well, yeah, and it just depends what you're looking for. Because like if you're somebody who wants a championship no matter what,
Yeah.
and you're the star,
Yeah.
Brunson was making money until this point.
Right.
So now he was going, okay, like I want the ring.
Right.
I got the money, and I'll keep getting money, but I
Right.
want the damn ring.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So on one hand, it's like I don't think it was a bad thing for him to do that, you know.
Yeah.
But I also go, okay, am I the best player on the Wizards, and they want to pay me $10? No, bro, I'm your star. I'm why
Right.
people are coming.
Yes.
This team
Right,
sucks.
right.
I'm not taking a dime less.
Right.
Screw you guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it really just depends on your market, what you're looking for, and what you want. out
Yeah,
of the
what's-
league.
what's
I mean,
your-
what are you there for?
What are you
Yeah.
prioritizing at that point?
Because
in
look
time?
at Chris
Yeah.
Paul. Like Chris Paul wanted a ring, but I don't think he really wanted one until his last 5 years. Because he was taking his max deals and trade deals, and
I'm gonna
max
say that was
team.
true only after they rescinded the trade.
Yeah,
He was supposed to go to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Like when he was going to go to the Lakers on that contract.
was-
He was ready to.
That was-
But when was
be
that?
team
Was
player.
that when was that? 5 years ago? 6 years ago?
No. He was young.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like that was like coming out of
'Cause
New Orleans.
They blocked the trade on that
They
one. Yeah.
That's
rescinded it,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
for was it collusion amongst players, I think, or something like
I don't
that?
remember.
Or maybe it was something to do with they negotiated the trade outside of negotiations, like outside of the window or something
sure.
like that. It was something contractual, and they wouldn't allow the trade to go through.
Okay.
I think he was serious, and then he was like, "Well, I'll just take the money then, because I don't have any other."
It's
options.
also
Yeah, that's
AI didn't have to worry at all about aprons either. He didn't. Teams could just throw out, "Hey, I'm going to give you $100 million,
Now, I
and
think
we'll
they
just
had-
pay the luxury tax."
Yeah, I
and
was gonna
that's
say,
it.
yeah,
they had luxury tax,
yeah.
but if you're a big enough team, you can afford a luxury tax, no problem.
Yeah, they're like the Mets.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like you're the
R.I.P..
you're the Dodgers, you're the
I think-
Yankees. You can toss out a much money. Now teams have to worry about that. Now players even more have to worry about.
Oh,
that.
for sure.
So-
Well, and kind of to that point, I think Carmelo raises an interesting point. You know, $110 million is a
That's a big cut.
butt ton of money
Mm-hmm.
to not take or to take. So I get that he's saying, like, if you're worth it, you need to realize that value. I think he's also, because of his position, hey, shout out, if I could make it, I would make it.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also neglecting the fact that $156 million is so much money. Most people wouldn't need $1 more.
No.
You could give the average person $156 million, and they could be good for the next 7 generations.
Yeah.
Assuming that you just put it
They're responsible
literally,
and invest
literally
and
you
be
could go
smart.
to any financial institution and say, I just want to earn 4% a year.
yeah.
Right? So I think he raises a good point. Like, yeah, the players should go get all the money they're worth. I understand. Yeah. I think he's also kind of missing the mark a little bit in that $156 million is a butt ton of money still.
And he's
Even
saying
if you
that-
left 100 on the table,
Right, yeah.
156 is still good enough for me.
Call it 75 because of taxes
Yeah.
and all that.
And I mean
yeah.
this in all due respect. He's also saying that as somebody who never won a ring.
right
Because the thing is, like,
You know what,
let's say he made it to the finals 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
And barely missed it. You lost every time.
Yeah.
4 times in a row, lost each time, missing a piece.
Right.
And they go, look, dude, we need you to drop like 30 mil.
Right.
And
do it.
we'll get that piece.
He'd do it.
He would do it. 100%.
I don't know, man. I like that at the very least, because this is what I don't like. There will be a retired player who made the most money they could and won a ring. Fantastic. That's what you're supposed to do. And they're like, oh, I would take the discount. Okay, but you didn't.
Right.
Maybe you could have ran that bad boy back if you
Well, and
renegotiated.
hindsight as well.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
well,
people-
hindsight as
yeah.
well. But you could have, when it didn't work, you could have renegotiated. You know, you had a second run where you could have
Right.
taken less. Why didn't you take a discount
then-
and bring in another star?
So then if the 76ers win it this year, then it's the prime example of that because then
Yeah.
you have he's taking a pay cut. LeBron's coming in for bare minimum, veteran minimum.
Melo stood on business. He stood that I'm going to get every dime I'm worth, and we're going to get as close as I can take us.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Screw those other stars.
Hey.
Yep.
And we saw how it worked. It would never pass the first round.
Never passed the first round.
And it
Now,
just is what
on
it is.
individual accomplishment, I don't think anybody will argue. That's a talented basketball player.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
Like-
That's why I'm like, I say that with all the peace and love.
Top
He's a great
25
Yeah.
scorer, I think,
Of all time, for sure.
Yeah.
Literally as by
But-
himself as any player's probably played. But it's no ring.
Yep.
Well, okay, but like a Dame Lillard, right? Has he
Yeah.
taken a pay cut? I know he's been traded, and like he traded back. Now he's,
I think when he went to Milwaukee, it was a little bit of a pay cut.
So like even he was like,
Yeah.
let's try to
But it was,
Yeah.
I mean, it's so late by that point.
Well, but that's
But-
the thing. It's like
yeah.
every star is going to take a pay cut at some
Yeah.
point in their career.
Now, I'm going to be honest. Dame, he got a bad deal because it looked like they were there, and then it would just fall apart around him, and that front office would not retool.
No.
I always felt bad about that because he was that guy.
They wasted him there in Milwaukee.
Yeah. Not even in Milwaukee, in
Portland.
Portland.
Yeah,
Wasted a lot of good years of Dame time.
they did.
A lot of
Yeah.
people waste time in
He
Portland
was
too.
well. That's true, dude. He was putting out records and scoring that night. Like, he was doing everything.
I know y'all had we have topics and stuff too, but the thing is, like, my last question I have: would y'all have paid Austin Reeves what they paid him?
No. I don't think so.
185 million or
No.
100 some million for Austin Reeves?
Okay, you said Austin Reeves. I heard Austin Rivers. I was like, yeah, Rivers was totally worth it.
No, Rivers
Reeves?
was like the 27th man.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Now,
No.
I won't argue somebody who says that Reeves is a top maybe
He's a
30
great-
or 50 player.
Yeah.
Great player.
Hey, man, you got my vote. Like, I'm for
At
it.
this point, he is
Right.
the second best player on the Lakers.
Yeah. But that
Yes.
but that much money though.
180 something $1 million.
It's overinflated. And I don't know if
Yeah.
that was like LeBron liked him or what. I get that playing next to LeBron makes you look really, really good. And
Right.
LeBron gets a lot of people paid. That was crazy.
Right.
Because now he's going to have to be a creator.
But it's just him and Luka now. So
And they have Ayton opted in, so they still have Ayton.
okay.
And then
that'll save him.
I don't know
Yeah.
what the hell else they have either. Like,
well, let's look at this roster.
I was just
then.
curious
Yeah.
because I'm not because this goes back because we're talking about money. So like with Austin Reeves, you couldn't have offered him 150 million, or was somebody else offering him something, like
I don't know. I'm
I just want to
curious.
know what those
So-
negotiations
Did they
look like.
match?
Right.
Did they match somebody's offer? It's possible because
It's
you never
possible.
know. There's like a Wizards that comes out of the blue and is like, "Hey, dude, I'll give you $200 million. Why
they've,
not?"
they've got Bronny James still, so you never know.
Hey.
You
So
never
they still have
know.
a James in there.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, there's your point though here. It's like you got Luca, who's getting paid a fat 50 mil this year, Hardy at 6 mil, Bronny 2.2,
Hell yeah, dude.
it was like Jake LaRavia at 6, Looney at 8. Then yeah, that's really all you got.
And then Austin and
Yep.
oh boy, will be your top.
Yeah, Vanderbilt
Yeah.
with your forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It. That's a rough
Yeah.
lineup. I mean, that
That's a Mavericks
organization's gonna
lineup right there, boy.
Whoa. Hey now. We went to a finals on a lineup like that. I want you to know.
Hey,
With
you
Luka
did.
too.
Hey, look,
We went to finals.
that was a great
lost
run.
to
That was
y'all.
a great run, baby. I know.
was
I
a run
laughed
for the
'cause,
ages.
again, I'm like
Yeah,
so
I remember
fundamentalist.
that run poorly.
I know. Dude.
Funny enough, that final was 3-2-1.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Hey, I needed it to be Mavericks because I
Yeah.
was like, because I told Caitlin, I was like, the only way I'll ever get to see Boston live is if either I fly to Boston
Yep.
or if they make it to the finals with the Mavericks.
Yep.
So I can
And there you go.
force myself to go. I
And
was
there
able
you
to.
go.
Yeah.
It was the best day of my life.
I'm
Shout out.
glad I didn't because we were losing a lot, and I don't want to go for that.
Oh, I'm just happy I went to
Because
the
they,
game. I did.
I was like, they won the game you went, yeah.
Because game 4 they clearly didn't care because they wanted to go back to Boston.
Right.
So I'm glad I chose game 3.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, it was working.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. Oh goodness gracious.
Oh man, so
But
yeah,
yeah.
Me and
That's-
season.
This will be-
we went over my point. I had
Yeah.
both those quotes pulled out, so
Oh,
that
there
was
you
that's pretty good, boys.
that'll be
I'm proud of
this will be a
Right.
real interesting. I really think it's going to be a real interesting year as far as like pieces of the puzzles dropping into place.
Oh, yeah.
so like
It's gonna be interesting. I think there's still a few moves that'll happen.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
there's
oh sure,
oh
sure.
In
There's
fact,
still
with the
plenty of
Lakers,
time.
I believe, or maybe it's the Clippers.
There's still
Maybe it's
some-
LA Clippers.
Yeah.
But like Mathurin is still not going to play in Los Angeles,
Nah.
most likely. So
There's still this mess with Kawhi as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
Oh yeah, because that got canceled or whatever. Yeah.
Of course it did. I'm like, that was the
So-
most shady, whatever. Like, and they
Why
said
is
they're
it
not
that
even
always his
investigating.
trades always happen to be real shady? Because
Because his
wasn't that-
uncle is his manager's uncle is crooked. I don't remember his uncle's name. That man has ruined that guy's
Name him
legacy.
Tomas.
All right, so I want to know because everyone knows, everyone knows there's sketchiness in like betting. Everyone knows
Yeah.
there's sketchiness in like the refs and stuff. I want to know. I want to see a documentary on like agents because like
It's very interesting.
agents are like either you have an organization or it's the guy you knew from high school.
So it's
because that's
so-
LeBron's agent.
It's so
like,
interesting. The agent, Rich Paul.
or yeah, Rich Paul, or you got
Um,
family members. You got like
agents are so interesting. So agents they do have to be like, I don't think certified is the right name, but you do have to be like
No.
vetted by the NBA in
Yeah.
order to be an agent.
Yeah.
So what's funny is you're not
that bar's got to be real low.
That's
though.
the thing is
like if
it's
you already
just
have an
high enough-
established player.
Yeah, it's just high enough that it's really not that bad. Like I think it's like a $50,000 surety bond, which is like $12 a month,
Right.
and then it's like you pay a fee to the NBA once a year,
Yeah.
and that's
right.
it.
And if you've got an all-star player, that's beans to you. At that
Yeah,
point,
and then
you know.
what's crazy is they take like 2%.
Yeah.
Well, 2% off 60 million, a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that's a lot of money, dude.
I'll be an agent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
but
I'm
that's
shady as hell.
but that's exactly it. You get one guy that you can lock onto. You're wheeling and dealing
Yeah.
to everybody.
I think agents,
like,
managers, like it's all such an
like and
odd
it's always
thing.
hearsay that
Yeah.
you hear. It's like, hey, so and so is talking about so and so is talking about. Like Rich Paul was on the podcast all throughout. It's like giving the whole. All
Yes.
right, LeBron wants these 5 teams, and he has a whole diagram. But how much is that actually like? Just misinformation that you're throwing out there.
Yeah,
because
just
you
to-
don't want to say, hey, the 76ers texted me yesterday,
Yeah, yeah.
that they're going to pay a fat sum of money.
Mavs, oil.
Or my or my lawyer's talking to their lawyer, not even
Yeah.
through like direct chain. Like
Yep.
that's a whole nother thing.
It's very strange. I would listen that when we do our first journalistic deep dive.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
we go.
We're
They'll
gonna
be a
dive
30 for
into
30.
the
I would-
world of
I would do
agents and
that.
managers.
I would love to. Dude, that's how you get shot, though.
That-
You need some like. I need somebody
Make a
who's
good book, though.
I need somebody who used to work. I need somebody who used to work like for Vice and did like some
Yeah.
of their
Oh,
underground
yeah,
stuff.
dude,
That's
Vice
the
too.
only people that I can trust.
That would be so interesting.
All right, guys.
Like-
Next topic will be we'll pick our favorite agent. And,
Deep dive into the
and
agency.
who
Shout out
represented
Clutch
it.
Sports.
Yeah.
But seriously,
who they
I
represented.
can only imagine the depths of just scum and villainy you're gonna find down there.
That would be an
like-
interesting. That'd be an interesting like Netflix, 30 for 30 or something.
Yeah,
I can only imagine that's going to be like a deep dive.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not just
Well,
going to be
getting
one
anybody to
sport.
talk.
It's any sport. Like it's not even just NBA.
Well, that's the key. Is you have to get. It takes one person to spill over.
it's going to be all the
and start
retired.
talking.
It's all going to be all the retired agents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You
gonna be
know?
that.
Which it would still be interesting. If you know what, if you get agents that are retired who don't have skin in the game, who will get no one in trouble now.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
that
may
would
give
be
away
interesting.
techniques, but
Sure.
if you're just kind of talking about what you did or what you
Yeah.
experienced,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's a lot of things like dude, look at all the shit with like gangsters and stuff.
Yes.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
and
Like,
Yeah, half of them were in with it with the mob
Yeah,
back in the
mob,
day.
like-
Probably a bunch of them still
all
are.
these
Oh,
other
they
movies
definitely are because
Yeah.
Chauncey Billups just got brought up
Yeah,
on charges.
all
with
of those
the mob.
guys. Yes, exactly.
Yep.
So did
There's a few other big guys. On
I used
that
to play with him on 2K. Malik Beasley.
Huh.
Pretty sure is his name. I might have that name wrong, but somebody from
Allegedly.
allegedly. But somebody, I don't remember who he played for, but he just got caught for point shaving with the mob.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was Beasley because he was on the Wolves, and
Yeah.
there was a yes.
Dude.
So there was a special one of the clips that have been going around was the I want to say the over under for rebounds was
2.5.
2.5.
Yep.
Two or 3.5. He got his 2 rebounds, and he couldn't want the ball less coming off the rim.
Yeah. He
there
was
was
giving up offensive rebounds.
like he was
to
just
avoid
like
the ball.
it would come in his way, and there was a clip where he sees the shot. He is wide open. He sees the shot, bounces off, and before it even hits the rim, he's at the half court going the other way. Like, oh, it's so bad.
Same thing. I believe it was
crazy.
maybe that same game or maybe close to that same game. Dude, it's like winding down. It is totally they have lost. Mm-hmm. He inbounds the ball, and I've never seen him
he's
run faster.
Because the over was, I think he wanted to he wanted to cover the
He
spread,
wanted to cover the spread.
which was like 7.5 points
Yes.
or something like that.
So, dude, I have never seen him run faster.
That's
He
crazy.
probably set his best 40 time.
He went for the sprint.
running as fast as humanly
Yeah.
possible.
Oh, he sprint and the other team was just like standing there, like, "What are you doing?" Like they're just standing there, and he's going for the fast break as if it's like game is tied neck to neck. You know, at
That's
this point,
crazy.
it's
So it definitely
Yeah.
still goes on. I mean, he gets caught.
It might, you know what though? Those documentaries might start. It'll start with the gambling.
Yeah.
Start with players being shady.
yeah,
Then it'll turn into like, what else we got?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
And then I think
For sure.
they'll start diving into
Just like
criminals.
the old players from the 90s, how we're like, oh, they used to party on the plane. Like, you were smoking.
Yeah.
and
Right.
gambling. And that was like, it's taboo now. But then, our children's generation will be like, yeah, everybody was gambling with the mob.
Yeah. It's okay,
LeBron
Dad.
James
Go
is
go
really-
bet on your DraftKings now,
Yeah,
Dad.
exactly,
Come on,
exactly.
Grandpa.
I swear, LeBron's agent tried to kill a man.
all right. So on that type of note about old school versus new school, here's my hot take here that I want to
Okay.
hear you
Okay.
guys'
hear it.
thing on. So you always hear people talking back and forth, all the old heads saying we can play in today's league. Today's league is soft, and then everybody in today's league going, no, we can play back in we can play back in ye olden days at
Right.
that point. My hot take is unless your name is LeBron, Kobe, or Michael Jordan, or those type of like one of one players,
Say top 15.
I'd say top 15 at even then top 5 of your particular
Okay,
league.
okay.
Nobody would be able to play in either league. Every old head is talking out their ass, and every young buck is thinking that they're more skilled than they actually are. Because here's my argument: so the old guys, unless your name is one of those, your Kareems, your LeBrons,
Wilt.
or,
Yeah.
or your Wilts.
Like that.
They are the only ones that will have the skill to compete with how fast the game is and how everybody else's skill level is up here, and their physicality would help. But then
Right.
with the reverse, all the kids who are playing now would not have the physicality to play back then because they're going to get their crap stomped in as soon as they start playing in the league.
Interesting.
I think okay. So I think yes, to an extent, because you get like look at like a Chet Holmgren, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very scrawny, doesn't do much. People roast him because he just floats in the air.
Sure.
But I think he would still. But I think he would have to adjust. He wouldn't be as dominant as far as like if it was like him versus Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't compete against a Shaq. However, that time frame, people were going more mid range. They were doing more closer shot. Threes weren't as big of a deal.
Right.
So you get someone like Chet just standing there like this.
Right.
He may be effective, right? But then
But then he's going to get
game
hip
is-
checked. He's going to get hip checked out the court though.
Yeah.
Because he's not. You think a 7-foot man like Chet is going to be able to stand his ground against literally anybody else?
No, and there wasn't as many fouls called then, and that's really in reverse of that. The old guys won. They're not as fast.
Mm-hmm.
So like, let's say
be out in the first quarter.
Well, because you go like, let's
fouls.
say you take Jordan's Bulls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan could keep up. Maybe Dennis or Pippen, right?
Right.
They
But
could
like
keep up.
they probably keep
Those
up.
two could.
But also like
But Dennis would get thrown out because he's fouling
Draymond.
everybody. Yeah. Again, Draymond's a 1 of 1, and even then he
I'm
rides
going to
the line.
argue Dennis and Draymond. They would walk that same line.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah.
'cause
Dennis was actually really surprisingly good. He
was
would get to
strategic.
4,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh man, now I'm cool."
You're right.
Yeah.
Now I'm just whispering in your ear, sweet nothings.
Yeah. Well, then if you get and so like my point with that is like you would get those guys their instinct is to go run to the rim, protect the rim, and then they're going to be running. All of a sudden, Steph pulls up from 4 inches, 4 feet past the 3-point line,
Right.
And they're like, "Well, damn, I
Ex-
didn't
ex-
see my play."
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
But if you're athletic enough and you're good enough, some of those guys would adjust to the pace.
But that's
then you get
the
the other ones
thing.
where it's
Back
like-
then, you didn't have as many
Yeah.
guys that could run. Again, keep in mind playing 80-something games now. You know, they were playing 70-something games back then. They were not nearly as fast paced of games at that point. Their sprinting definitely wasn't nearly the same. Conditioning levels.
Interesting.
It's tough.
What era are we drawing the line at? That's what I want to know. Are
I'm
we
saying-
drawing 90s and before.
I mean,
Or like
you could.
1990 before.
Like
I
2000.
would say like 2005 is probably.
Ooh, okay.
Like I would say up until
Now-
like the Shaq Kobe era is about when it started to transition.
I'm so glad I'm not the editor for what I'm about to say.
all right.
But I will help the editor find this obscure clip I'm about to reference.
All right.
Steven Adams was on an interview.
Oh,
okay,
boy.
and so I think it's a really interesting question. I think you would have players who are non-stars in each era become stars in the other era. For example,
okay.
Steven Adams was in an interview, and I can't remember who he was interviewing with, but he was talking about how the guys today, they want to play today's game.
Yeah.
His point is to play yesteryear's game today.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
So he said they don't even know the fundamentals of the game like I know the fundamentals because I had to learn the basics.
Yeah.
He said, I am known as an offensive rebounder. I am simply a really good box out guy. And he said, none of these guys know how to box out.
That's
He said,
true.
I'm a 6'11", 7 foot. And he goes, I'm a big guy.
Uh-huh.
But these are other big men. Like there's other 7-footers that are huge. He said, but they don't know how to box out. All I can do is box out. He said, if I played in the 90s, I wouldn't even be a standout because the backup could do what I could do. So it would be interesting, but he would definitely probably stand out.
People that they were drafting, they're not used to what I call trench work, so they're not actually good down there, boxing out. So I could take advantage of them. I link it to because of that whole trend. There's a lot of the techniques I use and stuff like this, it would not work on the dudes back in the day. But now I'm versing someone who doesn't even know any of that stuff.
Another example from that era would be Al Jefferson or Zach Randolph.
Yeah.
Right? So those old school type players, but they did adapt to the fast pace. In fact, Al Jefferson made the entire game adapt to him. He was so good when he was on the court. Now, was he like the best ever? No. But he was a force to be reckoned with. Like you watch his old clips, boy, and you watch old players talk and so he was late 2000s.
Okay.
Like 2008, 2009.
Okay. So right on my line there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I was like clarifying.
Yeah.
Man, what? And he played into the teens, but he was
Yeah.
getting older by then. But so there are players, and then if you go old school, there were players who were ahead of their time, but it was just too early.
Right.
All right, and the one that I can think of most, Oscar Robinson is definitely one you could pull out. But Pistol Pete Maravich,
Yeah.
he was
Yeah,
known
his
as
handles,
an oversized,
yes.
fast dribbling forward.
Right.
That just wasn't the thing, right? He didn't fit the mold of what the old game was. He would actually, I think, transition very well. But he is nowhere near a top 50 player.
But that makes my point, though, that because they had a different play style than everybody else back then, Pistol Pete would have been fantastic, more nowadays because it's all assist led. It's all position, and more technically led. That's why
I thought it was the older players couldn't play in today's.
I'm saying either way, where it's like,
see, I think there's a percentage. I think it would be higher than you would think. I think it's just now they get labeled different.
I think your point is a good counter argument where it's like different players would shine.
Different
at that
players
point.
would shine. And it would be interesting to see, like, man, what's another one?
But like, I still think when like if you have every old guy with a podcast now is saying these guys are soft. Yeah, they're soft for sure, but they're also your eighth man is more skilled than your fifth man, on any average team nowadays compared to
Now,
back
that's
then.
an interesting one. Interesting.
I would say, like, as far as skill level goes, the threshold to be in the
This is
NBA
what-
skill
this
level
what I
is
would say.
higher.
I think that it's a different skill set.
Okay.
Not that the skill is higher. Because, for example, if you take a who would be a good let's say a Muggsy Bogues, right?
Okay.
So he a little fella, little boy.
Little bitty guy.
But his skill was unique, right? He was fast. He had a handle like no other. His timing was impeccable. It was
Okay.
the only way that he could be in the league at 5'3".
Mm-hmm.
His skills were different, right? He could shoot, but he had to learn a whole different skill set. In fact, his whole thing was commanding the floor from a passing and running perspective. Now we don't have that point guard. Name me a point guard who commands the floor from a pass and run.
Yeah.
Different skill set. Now the skill set for your point is he wants to shoot the three. Every point shoots the three. So I don't know if they're more skilled. I think they're more skilled at what we want to see today. But you give me Muggsy Bogues on a team on let me make sure I say this correctly. You give me Muggsy Bogues on the Boston Celtics right now, Boston Celtics might go to the chip.
Well, and it's
Now,
kinda-
Muggsy Bogues might be a bad one because he really was 5'3", and
Yeah,
People
his
would
height
jump
be his
over
Give your-
envious problem.
All right, fine. Give you like your white chocolate or something like that.
Jason Williams,
like Jason
you,
Williams. Yeah.
yeah, you give something like that a different skill set. I'll even bring in a more recent player who played old school, but Rondo. You give me a prime Rondo on any team today.
Yeah.
He does not possess the skill set that Steph possesses.
Yeah.
He impacts the game as much as almost any star. I'm not going to say Steph because Steph is a little
No,
different.
because Rondo back in the day when.
But I
when
like
he
that
was-
question. That was a good question.
Yeah, because when Rondo won in 08, he was his first or second year.
Yeah.
And it's like he'd be like scored 10 points, but he had 38 assists.
Yeah.
And you're like,
So I
well,
guess-
that was
And
Yeah.
even beyond that, but in because he controlled the game from a different skill set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even at the time, people were like, "This is a dying breed. This is not something
Right.
people
Yeah.
see."
So, and I think, all right, so I guess a better caveat would also be whenever, the old guys or the young guys try to brag about it, they try to insert their game. Whenever they're talking about it, they're not talking how you would say
No.
of players who play it differently. They're trying to say their game as it is, let's just say
At that
today,
time, yeah.
at that time would
There are
would
very
coexist.
few that would do that.
Right.
So few.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
But
unless your
it would
name.
be, I think it would be surprising ones. Like for example,
Sure.
I've thought about this before. Like Rudy Gobert, never a DPOY in another era because his skill set. He's just not a physical player.
No.
You know who would have been like ridiculously talked about all the time and is not talked about at all is Blake Griffin.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and that's what
Like
I was about
somebody
to say.
with that skill set and because he was like one of one.
he should have been born in the 90s. He should have been playing in the 90s.
If he was in the 90s,
Yeah.
he would have done just as good. Shooting wouldn't have taken him out of the game because it's not that he couldn't shoot; it was his teams couldn't shoot. Like the Clippers couldn't shoot enough, or the so and
Well,
so.
that's what I was going to say.
shoot.
The Clippers, was it 2018-19 when it was like him, Jordan, and Chris Paul, like the Splash Brothers. whatever they
Lob
called them.
City.
The Lob City.
Okay,
Yeah.
Lob City.
Hey, I bought Clippers merch. I had Clippers
Hey,
hats. I
dude,
had the
So
jerseys.
Lob City in the 90s
Yeah.
would have killed it.
Yes.
Yes,
They would have
because
they would have
that's
won multiple
that was the
But-
'90s playbook
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
a nutshell, right there,
They
and
would
they
feel-
did it better than anybody.
Yep.
Boston
You know.
and with their 08 championship team
Yep.
would have killed it in the 90s
Yeah.
because you had 3-point shooter, you had Paul Pierce who could kind of do all of it, you had
Right.
Kevin Garnett who could kill it, you had
Yeah.
Rondo who could pass the ball, like those teams like that had all the pieces.
Yeah.
Because the problem is what makes a lot of teams lose. Everyone tries to shoot threes or everyone
Yeah.
tries to do this, and you're like, bro, what the hell are you doing?
And so, and this might be my own, personal bias, and I'm sure you guys have the same thing. The era that we grew up watching basketball, those mid 2000s, the late 20s, early 2010s, probably would be I would say exclusively the mid 2000s, the teams closest that could play in either era.
Yes.
Because it was right
Yeah,
as it was
still on the cusp.
transitioning.
Yeah, you had your Vince Carter's, your T-Max. They could have played either.
Yeah.
They could have done whatever they wanted across
Right.
the board.
And
the
like
game still felt
Shaq
like
was still
I
playing.
was going to say
Yao was
the
in
Lakers case
Amari
is my
Stoudemire.
case in point. Is the
Amari
Lakers?
Stoudemire's a great one.
Yep.
He was because that Phoenix team
Yep.
was insane.
Honestly, the Spurs when they did their run,
Yes.
like that
the
entire
Spurs, great
team
example.
was probably going to be the best team that they could pass, they could shoot, they had big guys, they had small guys, and they could play every part of the game.
Yep.
Well, and the Spurs are honestly a good example because their first ring was 99.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have the Spurs leading all the way up, and they aged with the times, and that's why they started to not do as great
Yep.
because they were getting older. They weren't used to how fast paced things were getting.
Yep.
Yep.
and the game was changing.
Yep.
And that's why like a Tim Duncan probably could maybe have played one or
Right.
2 years.
And so that's why,
he needs
and even then, I still say it's like it's only teams that could play.
Yeah.
The individual players would still have a tough
Yeah.
time in either section
Yeah.
because they still couldn't quite keep up with the athleticism that today's game is, but they also couldn't quite keep up as well. They would still be great players, don't get me wrong on either, but they couldn't quite keep up with the physicality
Yeah.
that the older game was.
The team would. It's kind of like with people, and people always forget this when they kind of talk about Jordan winning championships and stuff. We were being the best player.
Yeah.
It took him a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had to build the team.
Yeah.
Well, Kobe.
Kobe, yeah.
Shout out Kobe fans. Kobe sucked his first year comparatively to the greatness that Kobe was. Like,
Right.
He was unworldly in a lot of things. He sucked his first year. All
I
right?
would say that's
Afro Kobe,
Yeah.
that first year, his rookie year, he struggled so much compared to the rest of his career.
Yeah,
Like it was.
people
it was
forget.
Yeah.
They
otherworldly.
remember after.
Now, did he put it together rather quickly? Yeah,
Right.
he became Psycho Kobe, where I'm just going to shoot
and so
50,000
that's
shots a day.
That's where like LeBron is a one of one, where he was asked to come out of high school and pick up the pace, and he did not suck completely coming out of high school, whereas everybody else, still had that adjustment. Obviously, he didn't.
He
like,
led Cleveland to so many finals and conference
yes,
finals.
exactly.
On a team that ultimately around him sucked.
You're right.
Like-
and out of the gate, where it's like, provided he still had some years to learn, but still,
Yeah.
it was incredible.
yeah.
You
It was
know.
interesting though. He never made it to the finals till his 4th season.
Right.
So he had 3 seasons.
But
to
he
get in
went.
there.
But he was
Now,
in playoffs the entire
he was a
time,
dog
right?
For those first 3.
Yeah.
Right.
Listen, he's been a dog since he was,
Yeah.
a kid. But yeah, it's a good point. Like he was one of the few.
Yeah.
Another interesting one. Just point out. All right, hometown hero here. Kevin Garnett would have killed him in the 90s.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
Oh, 100%.
Kevin Garnett could have possibly been like
Well,
that
when-
guy.
Yeah.
Because
well,
he would have been killing it. He
Yeah.
would have been like biting ears, pushing
Oh,
people.
He would have.
fighting people to
well,
the
yeah.
ground.
Honestly, Kevin Garnett. If you took like a '90s grit and grind player and you teleported him forward, it would just be Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
That's
because
it.
when did he start his career? He started it. He was in the 80s, if I remember, or 90s.
No, no.
90s, right?
Yeah, not the 80s.
Yeah,
No.
95.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah,
95?
95 was his,
Shout out
his first
OG.
year. That's right. Yeah.
Damn.
I was like,
played
he's
forever.
old.
Took him
I was like-
13 years to win a title.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was after he was, quote unquote.
He only played
on
for
this-
2 teams, or well, technically 3 teams if you count the Nets.
Hey.
Which nobody really wants to.
No.
Shout out the net.
But
That was
still,
his fault.
but that was his entire career was the Wolves, and then his the few 5 years
in
at actually 6 years, 6 years in Boston. So it's
Yeah.
like it took him a hot minute to actually get there. But that's only because the Wolves are the Wolves.
Yeah.
yeah,
They love it. They're a training camp.
Yeah.
The Wolves train
Every
the,
year.
the future.
Every year.
yeah. But it's an interesting question. I like thinking about that. It's also an interesting thing where neither era appreciates the training style or intensity of the other era.
Right.
Yeah.
Because grit
It's
and
a
grind's
pride
like, dude, we're throwing plates on our backs and we're walking uphill in the
Yeah.
sand. It's like that's cool and all, and you're probably strong as a bull.
Yeah.
But what in the world does that have to do with basketball?
And then if you played against these guys, they would run you ragged, and you couldn't breathe in the third quarter.
Absolutely.
Cardio's
Absolutely.
totally different.
And
then,
they'd be shooting threes from 15 feet.
and then at the same
outside,
time,
you
in that era, you had you all remember Rip Hamilton
Yeah.
with the face mask?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was literally like that. He just ran all day.
Yeah.
That's all he did. It was his whole game, but he played in the grit and grind era, and he was an anomaly. It was like, what is this guy that just runs over screens and shoots threes?
The stamina would get to a lot of these players.
Yes.
Like the older teams would have a hard time keeping the pace.
yeah.
Especially the big men.
But-
because like now you expect your big guys to be able to run up and down the court and being able to keep a fast pace
Well,
the
that's why
entire
they were out
game.
drinking every night.
I'll be
smoking
honest.
stogies.
Hey,
Right.
Them lungs
Yeah.
were strong because
Yeah.
it took double the work.
I'll say MJ playing 36 holes, smoking and
Yeah.
drinking beer all day, and then still going in and dropping 40 points.
Yup.
It would be interesting because now let's talk about let's play counter argument here. Could these teams slow it down to the back to the basket game and get by? Because when Denver Nuggets did that the first time, everybody died.
I think there's some players that want to. Like I'll
Nope.
I'll watch a game sometime and I'm like, that
But-
poor guy does not want to shoot that.
Denver
He wants to go to the basket.
Denver did it.
right.
We're gonna turn our back to the
Yeah.
basket, give it to Joker, and let's see if y'all can just play a slow game.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's grind this game to a halt.
I'm not a
Right.
big Shea Gildress-Alexander fan, but he is a master at the mid-range.
No,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
They slow it down enough. They do pass
That's
it a lot.
absolutely true.
But he does go to the mid. He's not. His instant thought isn't run a three, shoot it.
Right.
Right.
Run a three, shoot it. Now his other antics,
Right. The other shenanigans are a whole different thing. But yes.
But OKC is one that it's like they're slowly kind of
Yeah.
with their chats. And
Now I'm gonna
Yeah.
say, I think coaching blows that out of the water because you have the coaches of today who could study the coaches of yesteryear.
Yeah.
I think it makes such a difference.
Oh yeah.
For example, Phil Jackson comes in with the triangle, blows everybody's mind for
Yeah.
like a decade and a half. Well, then coaches study the triangle while they're doing high school basketball, and then all of a sudden the triangle is now. Well, now we got this thing called a 2-3, a 3-2, a 1-2-2, a box and one, and then it's like, well, now you have coaches who studied that when they were coaching high school,
Right.
And now we have what we have today, which is like shade on the top side, and you have all. It's like
Right.
It's like listening to a quarterback while they're on the court.
Yeah.
And it's, I think coaching would make a huge difference.
Right
So
up
if you
until your
take a coach-
superstar goes ISO, ISO, ISO.
Yep. And then it's like going back to the early 2000s.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah.
No, it's
Hey, that's a
question.
great question.
I need to post that question.
Yeah.
I know we'll clip it at some point, but I need to post and get some comments on that one because that's
Right.
an interesting question.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
It always makes me laugh whenever I hear the big guys talking like
yeah,
that.
because
Yeah.
it's also a pride thing. There's
Yeah,
valid
absolutely-
there's-
it's
there's
absolutely a pride
valid
thing.
arguments on both sides. And
Right.
it
Well,
sucks
because it's
we'll
like
never know.
every player wants to think that they're amongst the best.
Yeah.
Which they're not wrong. At the time, they're always amongst the best.
Right.
However, just like their pride doesn't ever want to always,
Yeah.
accept the counter at that point.
I think it would be interesting if you took a player who thought he was that guy and put him back then. I think it would be interesting to see the guys who just couldn't figure it out,
Yep.
even though their play style is really good. It's because the game's just not there. And then the same, I think it'd be really interesting. It'd be really interesting. But I think you're right. Early 2000s was the mix because that's when people started changing things.
Started to change.
I need 2K and AI to start merging where they start analyzing the
Yep.
old games and analyzing
Yep.
everybody's players profiles,
Now,
import it into 2K and
the
then
moment-
see
Now,
how
I'm
they
not gonna
mesh.
lie to you. It would screw it all up for certain players. You used to not be able to play zone defense. You used to man up
Ooh.
only.
Yeah.
Some of these undersized guards, we have a problem all of a sudden. I got to man up because what's easy is shooting the ball. It's hard to shoot. Shoot the ball when I've been bumped into 53 times
Exactly.
Right.
by this
Exactly.
6'6",
The rules.
285
Right.
linebacker
Yep.
who keeps running.
Well,
through
again,
me,
that's
but
that's the physicality that I'm talking
Dude.
about. These young little guys can't handle that.
a lot of the little guys now they hide on defense because they play team defense. I'm gonna, I'm just here for help. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
show and then run back.
They're a body in the lane.
Yeah. We're gonna ice the pick and all this stuff. Yeah, why don't you do that when you can't have a help defender? Why don't
Right.
we just see what that is like, little
Right.
man? Coming from also
Yeah,
fellow
when
little
you're-
man.
when you're-
6'8".
yeah
Back when they're pick and rolls or hip checking rolls.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is interesting though. I'll leave you with a thought.
All right.
Or a question for next week.
I like that.
Who in any sport, and I really want to emphasize any sport,
Okay.
who is the best coach
Oh.
in your opinion? Don't answer now.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna leave you on the edge of your seats.
We talking revolutionary or just straight up,
Best
whatever your
as you define it.
whatever your definition
As
of best
you
is.
define it.
I like that. All right.
Follow up just so I won't just so
Yeah.
I can brain.
Yeah.
For a single team, or does it matter?
No, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. Who
So
is
just
the
a
best
coach.
coach across sports?
Okay. I have a couple different thoughts.
I have a few.
I have a couple different ways I,
have
can
a
think
few.
about that.
So
All right.
bring your
Boys.
thoughts.
I'm ready. No,
All right.
that's a good question.
I like that. All right.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely remember that.
That's good.
So, all right. Well,
All right.
let us know what you guys think about the OGs playing in modern day league and vice versa, and shout us out of who you think the best coach is in your opinion. So, otherwise, keep watching sports. We'll see you later.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bye.